podcast episode concept: Voices of the Angels. So, you know, when they say kids say the darnest things, um, it be that one kid that'll say something so random that you just look at them like, what? um, and some things are just profound or just makes you wonder what do they see through their eyes. um and sometimes it just be stuff that be like, that's inside stuff, you don't tell people outside my business. Like, that's just how kids are, right? um but my son says like random stuff all the time. And I'm really focusing him with being familiar with like God and the Bible, and just kind of teach him what I learned, so he can even further it. And he'll randomly just say things, and he just be like, God is like a really really nice man. And I'm like, yes baby, God is a nice man. Or he'll just be like just random stuff. But today was a little bit it kind of, I want to say it rattled me, because it was just like, I know I'm covered. But it was just like, wow. So we're about to go to bed, and my son, of course, is like, I call it sleepy ha-has, and that's what I get too sometimes when you're real tired, but you just can't fall asleep, so you just get incredibly goofy, and everything is hilarious. He's laughing at everything, but he came in, and he's like, the devil hates you, right? I was like, what? I was just like, I'm sure he do. He's just like, no, he hates you. And he's like, he gonna try to get revenge. It's either he gonna try to get revenge, or he gonna get revenge. And I was just like, come at me, bro. Like, you messing with the gang. Like, don't you know I'm covered by I'm like God's child. Like, there's nothing you can do. You're not gonna succeed. So it's just like, okay. But it's just really weird that kids just say random stuff like that. And it's like, where does that come from? That's like, sometimes kids would be like, I saw Uncle Genie. And you're like, Uncle Genie died like 20 years ago. What the hell? But your child's seen it. And it just make you wonder, like, this is a little eerie, almost makes you kind of have the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Well, my son says random things, and I've always been the type of person that, when people say, oh, God speaks to you, and some people actually may like imagine a person actually speaking to you. That's not how it is for me. Even though at times when my depression was really bad, real bad, and I used to fall asleep, and it's literally like almost like a tranquilizer, and I could feel when it's coming. Like, I could feel when my body is just like, you need to rest now. Like, people are gonna notice, like, you're really 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 pretty much getting depressed really bad. So I would go in the room and I would sleep. And sometimes when I am sleeping, I'll hear something shout saying, wake up. And it usually be something I jump out my sleep, and Oliver's sitting there. And it just be like, okay, I'm supposed to be up for something, or I heard somebody pass, and I was supposed to be up at that right then and there. So it's just like, you never know. It's little things, not necessarily a voice that you hear. Some people do hear that. Like, I'm not going to invalidate anyone, just that for me, Um, it literally be like somebody said something that pertained to the exact thing that I needed, or it was so um, it stands out so much. Like the person will speak like I speak very almost monotone, and then I can just easily be like, get out the door, and that pitch, that tone, that rise of tone kind of snaps, it snaps you. And I'll see that with regular people, and it sounds like they're speaking loud, but they're really like not, like they're not really yelling. I think it happened like once. A lady told me something that really rattled me, and she looked at me dead in my eyes, and she's just like, if you don't stop, this is gonna happen. And I was just like, what? Why would you tell somebody that? But she said it in the most sweetest voice ever, but she looked at me and she's just like, God loves you, so you better stop. And it was just like kind of, freaked me out a little bit. But I took it, as a warning, and not for nothing, it did help. So it's just like, and for anyone wondering what it was, she was like, you need to stop smoking. Meanwhile, she never seen a pack of cigarettes in my bag or anything like that. I guess she smelled cigarettes on me. I don't know. But she's an old little Italian lady, real sweet. She lost her husband, and very, very religious woman, and very kind sweetheart. As soon as I knocked on the door when I was pretty much working for that electric company, some neighbors, we call them, they're like peaches, or apples, and you literally just bite into them. So you knock on the door and you're like, hi, I'm such and such, and I'm here to look over your energy bill. Oh, come on in. You want something to eat? I'm cooking. The bills are right there. Do what you got to do. She was like one of those. And then she literally, when I was leaving, she was just like, if you have a bad heart, and if you didn't, if you do me wrong, God's going to know. And I was just like, no, ma'am. And at that time, I was the type of person that if you're paying way less, I'm not going to tell you to do it. You can do, it's just bad practice. But my team pretty much instilled in me morals over money. So I learned from the best, so it was one of those type of things that if you got a good deal, I'm not going to mess it up. I'm not going to mess up your thing. But if I see that you're paying way higher, I don't care if it's a penny more. Like, you get a penny down, I'm getting a penny down. If you don't like it, you can cancel it, right? So it's one of those type of things. But it really shook me out when she said, like, you better stop smoking. And it, just like, wow, And I'm not even sure was I having pain with my lungs and stuff like that. I don't think so. Maybe not. I don't remember. But thankfully, I don't feel anything right now. Like, I'm good at. It's been a while since I felt something. It came and then it went, like a summer shower. Like, the pain came and went. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Just keep going. So I'm not really thinking about it. But another one where God kind of had this, he wanted to tell me something, and I was walking from the store. I think I was walking from like Walgreens, something like that. And I was, you have your thoughts in your head when you're walking or whatever. And since I daydream, I maladaptive daydream, so I be like real deep into my daydreams to the point where it's like deep thought. So I'm thinking in my head, and for some reason, I was like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta change this, I gotta focus on this in my life, and then I was just like, oh God, I gotta quit smoking too. And I was just like, I don't think God really, God is not really gonna be like, you need to quit smoking right now. Like, I'm thinking I got some leeway. And as soon as I said it in my head, walking down the block, there's a guy standing in the middle of the block, I guess going to visit whoever he was over there by. old guy. And he goes, I'll give you $1 if you quit smoking. And I was just like, wow, you got impeccable freaking timing. I literally just thought, like, I don't need to quit, I don't need to quit smoking just yet. God, God probably is not going to really care. And he's just like, I guess you do care. You want me to quit right now? Have I quit? We still working on it, but he knows. But it's just like little things like that. It's like those little idiosyncrasies and coincidence, serendipity, that it's just like, it kind of, it's like a little glimpse of there's more, And I'm pretty sure, everybody has their own definition of it, whether the stars aligned or, it was meant to be, or things like that. But I feel like we all think the same thing. But for me, it's God pretty much placing these things. And whenever you need, if you're walking and you're lost, whatever, and you're trying to find your way through the maze, and you're like, go left or right, something instinctively tells you go to the left, or certain things you may, hear something fall on the right hand side, and it makes you like, yeah, don't go there, and you never know what's aligning these things, what's moving these things. But I really feel deep in my heart, God, he positions you, and he allows people to come into your life, people to leave your life, whether it's for a moment in time or that person's there for a long time. But those things help mold you so you can go on your highway and you can reach your destination. So it's just, but it's one of those type of things. It's almost awe-inspiring when you see it. And I look at all these little things as like, I'm never, it's never a dull moment with God. I'm always like in awe mode, because it's like the littlest things, and it's just like, yo, like you're, like, this is pretty deep concept. This is a pretty deep thing. Like, how do you, my son randomly just comes in here, the devil hates you. Just like, who says that randomly? I was just like, the devil tell you this? Like, where did you even get that? Did somebody tell you this? Who told you that? An angel did? God did? But my son will say something with so much conviction too. Like, he'll be dead serious. And I'm just like, well, I don't know what to tell him. I feel bad for him though. I pity him, because you hate me so much. For what? You could be winning like my behind. Just praise him. Like, it's not that hard. But I was like, but you mad at me. But I don't know. Random thoughts. Probably people gonna be like, this chick is crazy. She be hearing random people say things. She think it's meaning. But we do it all the time. It's how many times that you have called someone. I've gotten phone calls. Like, I just walked past this sign and it said X, Y, and Z. Oh my God, crazy. And I'm just like, yeah. All these little things are like these serendipity items in life. They all mean something. They all mean something. Whether you believe that it's God or not, like, I already know my belief. But it does happen. So we cannot refute that, right? So I don't know. I'm not a preacher, I'm not an apostle, not anything like that. But it's pretty much like my stories or whatever, or the things that happen to me, or the weird, quirky things that happen. And sometimes they're really sad, and sometimes they're really joyful things that happen. So I don't know. When I post it, when I finally re-record this thing, because I literally have like 75, like 50 to 75 concepts done. I don't think season 2 is going to be about anybody else but my freaking wild adventures of Latoya, Latoya and God. And then hopefully we'll get other people for season 3, because it's a lot of material at this point. That is concepts that I can do. So yeah, that's it.